For almost 2 decades, Chelsea was one of the most dominant teams in Europe.
Very bleak as this. Drogba!
Be awkward. Pulled back by
season. It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final.
Thinking about shutting up for a point. There's Drogba. Oh, magnificent!
Entertaining football, winning football, and blue is the colour on the trophy ribbons in 2010.
They dominated the Premier League,
Premier League champions for 2017.
Europe,
And he lifts it high into the air. The Kings of the King's Road are now the Kings of European football.
and even the world.
Chelsea, winners of the FIFA Club World Cup.
But that soon came to an end. After Roman Abramovich was forced to sell, American billionaire Todd Boehly took over, and from the moment he arrived in 2022, he spent big. Huge transfer fees, huge wages, and the club's big name signing, Raheem Sterling, felt like a statement. At the time, it looked like Chelsea had won the transfer window.
6 players in this window, £500 million spent. For the first time in a long time, I think this window, we're actually starting to see at least a semblance of the strategy working. We've got some good players coming in.
But on the pitch, everything fell apart. Injuries, manager sackings, unhappy players. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
I don't know whether Chelsea are geniuses and nobody else has figured it out, or they are just coming up with ideas that no one would go near. I mean, giving 10-year contracts to players. They've got a transfer ban potentially coming down the line as well. Yeah, it's messy. It's really messy for Chelsea.
By January 2023, Chelsea knew the season was unsalvageable. The squad was bloated, the stars wanted out, and even Mason Mount pushed to leave.
And this is not a direct criticism of the players either, because when I look at the players' situations where they were and I understood how it had been a long year, I walked in with 10 games to go. They'd been there for the whole season, and a lot of players were not playing. They were probably going to leave, which we're seeing now. Whether they were going to leave or the club wanted them to leave, or they hadn't been playing with the previous managers. And I could see in training that the level wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to go and get a result at, whoever you might want to say, at Brentford at home, or let alone Real Madrid.
A massive rebuild was needed, but this time, Chelsea took a different approach. They hired Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, 2 recruitment specialists, and went all in on youth. Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, and Nicholas Jackson. The strategy? Built for the future, not today.
I think our view, though, was that this is a long-term project, and we're committed to the long term, and we very much believe that we're going to figure it out. We've got the best league in the world. We've got what I think is, the top city in the world, and we've got an unbelievable location in the top city in the world.
It was bold, it was risky, and it looked insane. And by the summer of 2023, Chelsea were unrecognizable.
I can't tell you, anyone in this room who sits and says they think they know what Chelsea's going to do this season is full of it. I've got 46 players on the list still at the moment.
But the results still didn't match the investments. Mid-table finishes, fans booing.
This is I am not happy with these owners who have dragged us down.
Pundits mocking.
Chelsea have just got to stop buying players, and players have got to stop signing for Chelsea. I don't know why, if I was a player, I would look at that Chelsea project and why would you sign? Back yourself as a player. Sign a 4-year deal at a proper club.
Chelsea became a punchline, but under the surface, something was slowly changing.
Early days, that they're just building something that looks like a little bit of consistency. They've actually only lost 2 games in the last 22, going back to last season in the Premier League, and that was against Manchester City and Arsenal.
The young players Chelsea bought were slowly becoming the veterans of the team.
The Caicedo, who last season people would have said, he's the money, the price tag's high, he's coming this season, he's leading a lot of the stats for the team. From a defensive side of things, in the midfield, they look more sure, and then going forward, they're so exciting. Obviously, Sancho's gaining confidence, Palmer's been a revelation, Jackson seems to be improving. So all across the pitch, to me, they have improved, and now they've also got players back from injury. They've had a lot of injuries over the seasons, and now they've got Reece James back as well, so he'll give the overall squad a boost, and I think they're heading in the right direction.
Cole Palmer exploded into stardom.
Lenko played it into Palmer. Oh, a lovely nutmeg on Branthwaite from Palmer. Little flick as well for Jackson. Palmer's got it back! Oh my goodness me! Cole Palmer, what have you done now?
Enzo and Caicedo started to settle.
Really good ball. Cole was attacking it and then smacked by Caicedo! What a hit from Moises Caicedo!
Fernandes!
Turnaround complete!
Quite brilliant strike from Enzo Fernandez.
Chalobah and Colwill emerged as young top defenders.
You not replace somebody like Colwill. I believe that Chalobah can do the job. Chalobah came back from a loan in Crystal Palace and has been very, very good since he came back and grew up a lot, I would say. So we have to trust the two players.
But the talent alone still wasn't enough. Chelsea still lacked identity. They were young, exciting, but fragile. And that all changed when Enzo Maresca arrived.
And credit to Maresca. He inherited an absolute mess. And I thought he was going to hide into nothing coming in there. That he was going to be a lamb to the slaughter. Maresca's got it right. I have to say. To the point where he can make 11 changes for last night's game. And they win it. I'm hugely impressed with the job that he continues to do, which I did not see coming. Everything he's done just seems to have worked.
For the first time in years, Chelsea had structure. The defensive line was disciplined, the midfield settled, and the mentality completely transformed. Before, Chelsea were infamous for collapsing late in games. From December to February, no team in the Premier League lost more points from winning positions than Chelsea.
Like, this is starting to become a regular feature. We're good in the first half, very good, but it's like we just blow our load in the first half, and then we just don't seem to come out for the second with the same energy. We're a lot more slower, we're a lot more lazier in possession, turnovers are getting more and more sloppier, and we just don't really adjust like that.
But with the appointment of mentality coach Willy Issa, it flipped. Without a doubt, Chelsea's appointment of Willy Issa will go down as one of the most important signings under the new ownership. Chelsea became ruthless at protecting leads. Not always pretty.
Another clean sheet for Chelsea, and yet another 1-0 win for Maresca's Blues as they go fourth in the Premier League table.
But effective every time. Suddenly, pundits who once mocked Chelsea as £1 billion bottle jobs were calling them one of the best young teams in the league.
I'm gonna lie, I'm looking at it differently now. I'm like, right, that thing that I was cussing every week, £1 billion blue, £1 billion bottle, all of that, like Chelsea, 2 billion, man, everything. I'm looking at it now and I'm just looking at it with more keen eyes, and I'm like, it's kind of working, though. Like,
and the players reflected that shift. Palmer didn't just score, he carried games. Caicedo grew into a midfield general. The defense, once shaky, became fearless. From being a meme to being a team no one wanted to face. And at the center of it all, American ownership. Yes, they overspent. Yes, they made mistakes. But by trusting the rebuild, Chelsea turned chaos into dominance. From bottlers to contenders. From crisis to building a dynasty. And maybe, just maybe, the dumb American owners are smarter than we thought. If you guys made it this far into the video, I do have some news I want to share with you guys. This Saturday, I'm going live on Omilly, an app where us football fans can connect, share our thoughts, and debate football. I'll be live there right after the Chelsea vs Brentford game on Saturday. So hop on there, download the app, and we can all share our thoughts on the game and talk about Chelsea.